How to ping one behind a proxy? I'm using an HTTP proxy server to connect to the internet. Because of that, my pings are not working. Says unreachable host. How can I configure ping to use the HTTP proxy?
In general, you can't. Ping needs a direct network connection on the IP level to do its work. A proxy works on a higher layer of the TCP/IP network model, where there is no direct access to the IP protocol. You would need to somehow circumvent the proxy, change firewall settings, use a VPN. Whether this is possible, and allowed, depends on your network configuration, but it's probably not possible. As a workaround, there are many web-based ping services available. Search for web-based ping. These will work.
You may try this, but first you have to install curl. As others noted, ping doesn't work through proxy. But you can use utility ping for that. It sends a head request, by default, to a web server and measures the time it took to get a response. Example output. Where? X, address of a proxy server, port is optional. G, URL to send a request to. Other useful options. -5, use SOX5. Should be put after the X option, i.e. C, how many probes to send before exiting. Infinite by default. G, do a GET request instead of a head request. That means that also full page/file will be transferred. Note that in this case you are no longer measuring the latency. Useful for testing actual websites. Be noticed that the time measured also includes the latency introduced by the proxy server itself. The utility is available through a number of repositories for different OSes and Linux distros. Ubuntu, Alpine, macOS with Homebrew. As another example, I used ping to estimate latency of my connection to Tor network through Tor proxy. The only option I wish ping had is the ability to ask SOX5 proxy for domain name resolution, instead of doing it on its own, which is a more secure way with Tor. Here is a link to the author's website. This URL
Following, Bogdan Kondratov answer, here is a free HTTP ping utility for Windows. Download at this URL. Usage behind a proxy, e.g. company proxy.